All right, Rania Khalek,
Hello.
you are here
I am here.
finally
Yeah.
on the Habibi House.
Yeah.
Um,
So excited to be here. Thank you for
you,
making this happen.
your turnaround time from a surgery is like almost superhero level.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'd like to think that I healed quite fast.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
how did that even, like, when was your surgery?
I had surgery on my neck.
Okay,
That was pretty intense, spinal surgery
yeah,
on October 1st.
okay.
So that was 2 months ago.
Wow.
A little over 2 months ago. But look, it's really helpful. We're doing a fitness and nutrition podcast today,
Yes.
right? Yeah. It's really helpful. I
How do
assume
we
just
stay
came
young?
prepared to talk about it.
Yeah,
It's super no, but
yeah.
I'm as anybody who follows me on Instagram sees, I work out a lot. I'm in probably the best shape of my life.
Wow.
And part of the reason I wanted to get in really good shape, especially this year, is I knew I had to have surgery. And when you go into surgery in really good shape, your body actually does heal faster
Interesting. Yeah.
and better. So I was like, as soon as I had neck surgery, so I could walk the same day.
Yeah.
So every day I couldn't work out. I just walked and walked and walked and walked and kept
Yeah.
my body moving as much as possible. I ate really well. Um, and yeah, I made sure I slept.
Yeah.
And within a couple weeks, I was like slowly feeling normal. It's cool. So, and here I am now, back to normal.
That's incredible. And you showed us the scar. You have like
I did. I'm proud of
it's
it.
very not that noticeable.
Shout out
So
to my surgeon.
yeah,
He was great, great
yeah.
guy.
As just as long as they didn't experiment with you
I
and
hope
they
not.
put something they like
I
a
get
chip.
like chipped. I got
Yeah,
chipped. I guess we'll find
yeah.
out.
Like
We'll
they're
find
like
out.
you're gonna heal very fast, but here's the
But
catch.
I mean, would you
Yeah.
guys like get a chip put in if it could give you superpowers?
I mean, not if it's Israeli, that's for
That's
sure.
true. Where was it
Don't
made?
stay
Is
away.
it on the boycott
Yeah.
list?
Elbit system.
Yeah, yeah. They'll be
Thank
like.
you. No, thank
They're
you.
like, we found a knee replacement that can heal 95%. It's like, don't touch.
No,
Don't
if it's
touch.
Zionist, I don't want it
Don't touch
anywhere
me.
near me. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
I don't care how fast I heal.
Absolutely not.
All right, let's get into it. So I think a very big top. I mean, even on the way here, I was listening to it was like Piers Morgan just bitching and moaning about his time with Nick Fuentes and all that. And I think there is this shift in the American right, especially with these pundits like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, and they're all kind of different variations of the right. Right? There's like different proportions of how insane they like come off, but um, the question is, has Israel lost the American right?
I mean, I don't think so yet, but
Okay.
I think it's certainly like on the way.
Yeah.
And it's super important. I mean, look, Nick Fuentes is a Nazi. Like he is a proud Nazi.
And
Uh,
it's not an act.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
He really and he really thinks women shouldn't vote.
Okay.
Like he thinks that black people are inferior. He says it like these are things
Yeah.
he says. So like we shouldn't ever be praising someone like him. That said, I'm very happy to see the right like caving in on itself over this issue.
Sure.
And if you look at the numbers show, especially among young people on the right,
Hmm.
they are turning against Israel in pretty big numbers.
Sure.
And that's because just like everybody else in this country, they've watched a live stream genocide and it's
Yeah.
horrifying and disgusting. And okay, so we also have to admit though there are like anti-Semitic undercurrents and sometimes very blatant currents
Yeah.
that go into that. But I think it's great the right is fighting over Israel. And I think it's definitely going to be detrimental to the Israelis. And they recognize, I mean, the Israelis aren't dumb. They recognize that they're losing public opinion across a political
Yeah.
spectrum.
So now
in
they're
this
like, let's
country.
buy
Yeah,
every
which
platform.
is why
Yeah.
they're putting so much of their resources into consolidating control
Sure.
over media, and they're collaborating with the Trump administration to literally destroy
Yeah.
our rights.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys. I mean, you're familiar with this Netflix Paramount feud over who's gonna buy Warner Brothers. Do you guys have a take on that?
I mean, it's just insane. I mean, I guess like right now we all pay, on the bright side, we all pay money for like 1,000 different ways to watch different shows. So maybe now we can just pay one way.
Yeah. How Orwellian. We're all just gonna have one channel.
Just
We're gonna
one
watch
channel
the one
owned by the same
I
person.
have a more pessimistic view. I feel like if you only have one channel, they'll just ratchet it up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, totally.
$100.
They'll be like, where else are you going to go?
Yeah.
Totally. And it's like, this is not just about Israel too. It's like you have a fascist drift taking place because there's just like a crisis of capitalism and
Sure.
a crisis of imperialism. And increasingly like wealth inequality and like this handful of like parasites that own all the apps that we're going to be putting this video on and everything else where we consume media. These people are taking more wealth and everybody else is having to fight over these little crumbs.
Yeah.
And that's not a healthy society to have. And so they're just like preparing for this future where they actually have to take away our rights. Otherwise, like they're going to lose what they have. I mean, these people are so detached. Like they don't even sit in traffic. They just take helicopters everywhere. Seriously.
Yeah.
So
I mean, with this LA traffic and New York, I wouldn't mind taking the.
I mean, I know it's not for us.
Yeah.
It's not for us. It's for them. Like the traffic is for us to sit in and pay like toll prices for.
Right.
Right. But back to like the question about the fight over Israel. I mean, I don't think the support for Israel democratically is sustainable, which is why it's also in Israel's interest to remove the kind of superficial layers of democracy that we have in this country. So that's why, I mean, who did they kidnap people off the streets for? Like who were the first people that they took off the streets? The students.
Yeah.
And try to deport them.
Right.
It was students who had spoken out against the genocide in Gaza. So like these forces are collaborating to come after us in these various ways, and it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse.
I mean, there is a thing called the Palestine Laboratory, but you know that sentiment is like they test what on Palestinians and then they bring it over here.
It's always been that way.
So that's when Americans are like, "How this doesn't, have anything to do with me." We're like, no, it has a lot to do with you because the same tactics that they're using over there, they're using over here. The same technology.
Totally.
Over here.
No, Palestine has always been a laboratory, and it's a laboratory because these people, Palestinians, are stateless, they're rightless, and so you can practice all kinds of horrific things on them with impunity, complete impunity. And that's what Israel's always done. I mean, every major weapons manufacturer will promote their products at these big weapons fairs internationally as being battle tested and combat proven. What does that mean?
They're literally, and the videos that we see that we're like disgusted over, they're on the flip side using it to show off their prowess.
100%. These are advertisements for them.
These guys like will buy it based off of how much destruction.
And it's we're not just talking about the bombs. Like you're talking about the surveillance. You're talking about the use of AI to come up with lists of people. Every like Google, Microsoft, Palantir, all this AI that's being perfected in Gaza is already
every conversation you have with ChatGPT it's being used.
Totally.
Yeah.
So it's really scary. I think this is what alarms people, whether they're on the right or left. But then to go back to the issue of the right, like I also think that, I know that there's a tendency to get really excited because like all these right wingers are speaking.
Yeah, it's nuanced for sure.
It's nuanced in the sense that like there's people who are white nationalists who will still hate you even if they hate Israel.
100%.
And Arabs need to understand that.
I think that it's 100% true, but I think the thing that I'm loving is the complete crumbling of this, MAGA kind of, I love the crumbling. I to your point, like there are lots of shitty people and racist people and anti-Semitic people. And to your point, like even if they, might hate Israel, they might hate, me or you more, right?
Or the same.
Either or the same, whatever, right? But I think it's this crumbling of this whole system that I think is important. And I think it's also happening on the Democrat side, on the blue side.
Even more, actually.
Right.
I mean, Israel, if you look at the polling among the Democratic base, 7% support Israel. Like,
and yet look at the representatives.
It's not reflected at all.
That's what
in
I'm
representation.
saying.
It's because the Democratic Party, and this is another issue we have. It's like, and I worry about this. I'm so excited about Zohran Mamdani. I like totally drank the Kool-Aid. I was at a victory rally. I was like, yay. Yeah. I'm still really excited he won. All that said, like I've watched my entire life insurgent candidates come in and try to change the Democratic Party, and every single time the Democratic Party changes them, not the other way around, or it eats them up and spits them out. This is a party that is a corporate-owned party. It will always do the bidding of its donors, no matter what its base wants. The vast majority of the Democratic base wants Medicare for all. Do you see Democratic leadership proposing that, supporting that? Quite the contrary. They're doing nothing about healthcare. The vast majority of the Democratic Party wants to raise the minimum wage. Do you see Democrats raising hell about that? Maybe a couple of them here and there, but no. And the vast majority of Democrats oppose the genocide in Gaza. What's Hakeem Jeffries, our next supposed Speaker of House, doing about the genocide in Gaza? He's supporting Israel. Yeah. So it's not reflecting. Hillary Clinton, the darling of the Democrats, just last week, is like coming up out of her cave, her monstrous cave, to remind us all that she's a devil person.
Yeah.
Yes.
To remind us all that she loves genocide, and to say the kids are just all brainwashed by TikTok.
Yeah.
And don't know what they're talking about. So, and this is like one of the Nepo, I should not Nepo baby, but sort of like, kind of Nepo baby material of the Democratic Party. And this is always what the Democratic Party will go back to. You cannot change this party.
Yeah. So there is a parallel. It's like where you can be excited with an asterisk about these like right-wing pundits saying what they're saying, but obviously they have value.
Yeah.
They're not your friend, but what they're saying is valuable because they're speaking to people that we would never be able to talk to.
100%. They have massive platforms that we don't have.
And then on the other side, you can be excited about Zohran winning because like the idea of him winning is like unprecedented like that. But still got to hold him accountable. If he says he's gonna, arrest Netanyahu when he comes to New York, he better do it, or he's gonna lose a lot of credibility.
Or just the fact that he left Jessica Tish as police commissioner of the NYPD is like,
that's when you start like eyebrow raising and.
I mean, come on, and also like endorsing Hakeem Jeffries.
Sure.
For Speaker of the House, like completely unnecessary.
Meanwhile, he was the guy. He's like, he pretended like Zohran didn't even exist.
No, he barely endorsed him. He like endorsed him against.
Like, I haven't had
like under duress or something.
Like Zohran, girl who.
Yeah. Any other info that you want to share about any of these pundits?
I mean, look, I know everybody's really excited about like Tucker Carlson, for example.
Yeah, wasn't he just in like Doha, like meeting Palestine?
He was at the Doha.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, he's talking about buying, property in Qatar, like using the Qatar money.
I just want to see him in Again and a dish that. I just want to see Tucker Carlson in a dish.
We don't even need to use AI anymore. It's like he's gonna do it. He's gonna go.
I also just like look. I'm very. He also just had Francesca Albanese on, which I think is fantastic. Like I'm really happy that Tucker Carlson with this massive platform that reaches people that like you said we would never be able to reach is like teaching them about Palestine. But I will never forget that Tucker Carlson supported the Iraq War.
Sure.
I will never forget that he called Iraqis monkeys. And I mean, he is a proponent of white replacement theory. And like, I haven't heard him take that back. So like, I will be nuanced about this in the sense that like, I also think it's really good that he's advocating against, regime change in Venezuela. That's really important. At the same time, I recognize that like, how there's like progressive except for Palestine?
Exactly.
We can't be like regressive except for Palestine. Do you know what I mean? Like people are being kidnapped off the streets and deported. And there are people in the MAGA movement. And I think Tucker's one of them. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he supports the mass deportations, right? He's talked about white replacement theory before. So I also don't want to end up in this situation.
He talked about it during his in Fox when he was...
Yeah, I mean, he's a proponent of this, like the white, like this idea that like there's like a browning of the country, it's changing the culture.
Isn't he married to, I don't know who?
No, you're thinking of JD Vance,
and that's not gonna last.
I think right. Jesus, I think he hates his wife.
Yeah.
But all that's to say, like I'm happy to see people evolve. I'd love to see him evolve on those issues, but I also don't want to throw like my Latino and Black like comrades under the bus just because someone's saying pro-Palestine things. And I also want to constantly remind people, and maybe you guys have a different take on this.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to have that debate too. But like at the end of the day, you have the whole like America first, not Israel first. But like the thing is, if we want to understand Zionism and we want to understand Israel and why America supports it, we do have to understand why America supports it. And one of the main reasons America supports Israel is because it is the U.S. weapon to control the Middle East. And they've done a good job of that for decades and decades and decades. And there's
it started that way, right?
Well,
the idea was like, we'll have a base in the Middle East. We'll disguise it under this guise of like the Jews need a homeland. Right. And then I think it became a monster that they couldn't control. They started getting blackmailed, right? The every single political, like you see the honeypot scandal with Epstein. They started stealing our nuclear, like enriched uranium, the whole JFK stuff. Like, we don't want to be sitting here and like thinking that people are, we're wearing tinfoil hats.
So
but
I think I don't know. You're absolutely right. But I think when it comes to like controlling and like the lobby and like the Epstein blackmail stuff, I think that's more about keeping politicians in line, like the way the pharmaceutical lobby does, or the way like the weapons industry does. But at the end of the day, like if you look at what Israel's done just in the last couple of years, like they've basically weakened every source of every anti-imperialist force in the region in the last 2 years without America having to do that much other than give them an endless supply of weapons. Like Hezbollah's weakened, Hamas is weakened, Iran is weakened. Like, and at the end of the day, like there is the American imperialism does see a utility for Israel, and it doesn't mean it's completely black and white, but like it's like to just say like, oh, like if it wasn't for the lobby, there would be no reason to support Israel.
I think I'm saying like there was this symbiotic relationship where they were benefiting from each other, but right now I think it's extremely skewed. That's. I think
America's still benefiting from Israel. All like $3.8 billion that goes to Israel, not including all the rest. 80% of that has to be spent on American weapons. It's just a massive. No, but they do. It's a massive subsidy to like Lockheed Martin and Boeing and the Americans' weapons industry.
But then they'll use the money to create their own version of like the helmets for the F-35, and they won't share the technology. Like they're using our money and then not sharing the tech.
I mean, like there's a lot of things that Israel does that are like that. All I'm saying is that if it just becomes because the MAGA right is like, no, like Israel, like supporting Israel is actually against American interests. And I'm happy if they want to think that. But like if we're also going to be like anti-imperialist about it, like we have to also recognize, because you can't really fight an enemy properly unless you understand why it exists. And like the main reason that Israel still gets all of the support it does from American empire is because it serves American empire to some degree, at least until now.
I 100% agree. Like 100% agree with that. But I will end it with the fact that at this point, I don't think they can afford Israel being an enemy, and not even an enemy. I don't think they can afford Israel feeling slighted or feeling like, oh, you know what I mean? I really do think so. I think right now, 100% like the interests are aligned. And to your point, like
they're the same people, by the way.
Like, they are. They are.
They're
my
the same
goodness.
People, like
same, like American accents. Like I mean, dual citizenships. Like I mean, it's literally made. In fact, there's a town in Israel called Netanya, right? And people think it's named after Netanyahu, but it's actually named after Nathan, I forget his last name. He's the co-owner of Macy's department store.
Are you serious?
Yes. I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
So Nathaniel, I forget his last name. But my point is like it's always been, you know what I mean? But I don't think that the U.S., the way that they treat Israel is not just like a vassal state, like they treat, some of the Gulf states or whatever. There is this, I think, feeling like if they move a certain way that Israel may not like, they will get spied on. They'll get the weapons.
Individuals absolutely feel that way.
No. I feel like I feel like there is an actual threat to the U.S. system if Israel decides it wants to be against.
It's very
But
possible.
they still do it. I mean, again, like I agree with you. Again, I agree.
I think it's both. I
think
both.
now, I think we've gotten to the point where it doesn't. We're realizing that it doesn't serve the U.S. interests.
I mean, I think it's also, what do you think? It also depends what you think U.S. interest is. Like, I think when someone like Alex Karp, for example, from Palantir, says Israel's like is defending Western civilization, I think they really believe Israel, because Israel actually does. Like, look at everything it's doing. It does exactly what America does around the world.
Yes,
to its neighbors. Like all of the settler colonialism, all of the testing the weapons, all of this, like, we're this like Judeo-Christian, like representing the civilized global North against the brown hordes of the global South. This like European like colony that's been imposed on us in the Middle East. Like that is a pure reflection of how America treats the entire world.
That's true.
So like I think there is a shared interest there in the people who rule this country and what Israel's doing. They really do see, like, after, do you guys remember before October 7th? Joseph Burrell.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know. It's like before, it's like before and after. It's like BC. It's like before, after Christ, right? Like before and after. But Joseph Burrell, who was the foreign minister of the European Union, made this speech where he called Europe a garden. And he called the rest of the global South a jungle.
Oh, my God.
And we have to protect the garden from the jungle.
Oh, my God, please.
And that is actually how these people view the world. Yeah. And so, like, when they see Israel, they see the garden. Like there's an ideology, like a very imperialist empire, white supremacist European ideology that is foundational to support for Israel as well. Do you know what I mean? Like
even like Ursula, von der Leyen, right? Oh, they need the desert bloom and that's
the
same language.
That's a real thing. Like, so I mean, it's like I'm not saying it's one or the other. There obviously is an Israel lobby, and it does depend like what you think America first means, right? Versus Israel first, but like. Israel is just, to me, like I just see like all the worst things of America in this like one little settler colony.
True.
Like, look what the U.S. does to Latin America. What are you doing right now?
Yeah. I mean, you'll see a video of a boat getting airstruck. He's like, "Who did this? Was it America or was it?"
Right, yeah. And there's a symbiotic relationship too, because when you think about those boat strikes, there's like so much recent history behind how we got to that point.
And it's extrajudicial. There's no due process. They can just say that they're all
terrorists,
narco terrorists.
Obama is the one who set the precedent for in the war on terror days that it started actually with Bush taking it from Israel to some degree, but basically like under the Obama administration, they basically made it like the executive branch does not have to get congressional approval to extrajudicially assassinate recognized terrorist organization, like people who are in recognized terrorist organizations, right? So Trump has built off of that by labeling these cartels, in some cases making them up, terrorist organizations.
They just released a video of them, taking over an oil tanker.
Yeah.
You saw
which is what they used to do to the Iran. Remember when they were doing that with Iran? They were pirating.
So Yemeni people do it, and then they're terrorists, and Americans do it, and they're...
And the Yemenis were doing it.
Heroes.
Yeah, the Yemenis were doing it to intervene against a genocide. Like, America's just straight up stealing someone's oil.
Right.
Like, and that's what they were doing to the Iranians. Do you remember when they were confiscating Iranian oil tankers like years ago and then selling the oil and making a profit off of it? It's completely insane, but it's just this world the Americans and the Israelis have like together created. It really is a symbiotic relationship. Like the entire war on terror framework, the Israelis and Americans played with that. And the Americans use it all over the world.
I'm just, I guess this will be like the last thing about this, but, and we can move on. But the thing is, Israel doesn't attack any nuclear power. If you look at it, this is why, they've been complaining that Iran has been so close to nukes because the second
for the
Iran,
since the
70s, 50 years. So like the second Iran has nuclear capabilities, they'll start to like think twice about stuff. So that's why they're like doing everything they can to assassinate nuclear scientists and stop them from having it, sanctions and all that stuff. I mean, Pakistan's a nuclear power, and then guess Imran Khan, for example, whatever you think about him, he was very vocally pro-Palestine. Now he's just rotting in jail. But if he was in power, for example, I think, again, Israel would think twice about doing stuff. Because the same thing with Saddam. Saddam was the first person to be able to, like, he was the first person to hit Tel Aviv with rockets.
Yes.
Again, so we'll get into, like, the nuances of all these, like, people. It's the same as the right-wing pundits. Like, they're really bad just to people, and then they seem good. Yeah, Saddam.
What are you talking about?
Like Saddam, Bashir, like we'll get into all of that in the next topic. But at the end of the day, I think right now everyone is being blackmailed. The whole world is blackmailed by Israel because you can't go and check on their nuclear capability.
Well, they have the protection of America. It's like they give them
America,
for everything.
But America, even if you go back, the Dimona nuclear research, like the plant. And then is in the Negev desert. Anyway, JFK was trying to, check on it, and what happened.
He
to
can't
him.
check on it.
Yeah. So, and nobody has been able to inspect it since. So, that's the thing and they literally have. I don't know if you know this, like the Samson option.
Yeah.
So they have a literally policy to be like, if Israel is about to fall, they're going to...
Everyone's falling.
Totally,
everyone's.
So I think, to me, again, I'm a little bit more like Israel has...
Frankenstein.
Yeah. They're a monster that...
They are. No, they are. And I mean, I think at some point there will be that, like, okay, we've lost control, but I don't think America's there yet because, like, the American ruling class still, again, sees utility with the Israelis. And when I say the American ruling class, I don't mean this or that politician who wants to speak against Israel. I mean as a whole. Like they are still bipartisan in support of this Sparta state.
Yeah.
That basically executes dirty policy for them. And they don't do it just in the Middle East, by the way. They do it around the world. So they still see a utility in that. And America's very powerful. They have a gun to the world's head right now. Yeah. And that's, I mean, you talk about the nuclear issue and how Israel won't mess with a country that has nukes. So the U.S. won't either. Like, they will to a degree. Like North Korea, for example. North Korea having nukes is the only reason the Americans haven't regime changed North Korea or like invaded North Korea.
Really.
Right. Yeah. But like all that's to say, like, I think we're also in this moment right now where the U.S. is like completely mask off and everything's a nail and the U.S. is a hammer and everyone is like, you know, the U.S. has them all by the balls. That's like the whole world. Yeah. It feels like that right now. And it's really insane because it's like, and this goes beyond the Middle East.
It's like the world's mafia, like for real.
It is.
U.S. and Israel. They're coercing everyone 100%.
No, it's crazy. Like right now you have Trump like threatening to sanction the ICC unless they put in place some sort of like provision that they won't ever go after the U.S. Like it's insane.
The fact that America can sanction and then it'll like really hurt people is because everyone has to like follow the dollar. Basically.
Yeah.
The second that they BRICS and Africa has their own currency, and
which is why they killed Gaddafi.
Gaddafi and the guy, not Traore, but so like Ibrahim Traore they've already tried to kill him, and the guy before him that they did assassinate, I'm forgetting his name, Sankara, I think that was.
Sankara, that's right.
Was trying to do the unified kind of African currency
in the Western Sahara.
Yeah. So again, like. That's what they do. The second people try to do these coalitions, they're like,
no. I mean, you look at the new national security strategy, and it lays it out very blatantly. Yeah. It's like the U.S. wants complete military supremacy and economic domination of the entire world, and anything less than that is unacceptable. Yeah. And they will do whatever it takes and whatever they have to in whatever part of the world they need to. And it's so obvious. And I just want to like going back to like the MAGA thing. It's like so like when the MAGA people talk about America first, they still want that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they still want that American supremacy and everything.
We want let's just the normal person wants America first without the racist undertones, right?
It depends what America first means. Like someone might say America first and think it means giving your people health care and education.
Yeah, like that. Right? That base level. We want America first. We want our billions.
And the question is, who is an American, right? And you're hoping that what they mean is all of us deserve
under the Constitution. There are even if you're undocumented. You still have rights.
Right.
Like you're still a person. And also that's the other thing with these people. I'm just like, do you guys not get it? Like, okay, like I know there's a certain part of the MAGA base that like is maybe against the Venezuela stuff. I think most of them, it doesn't seem like really care too much. And will probably just support whatever Trump does, right? And so if Trump lets Marco Rubio's policy go through and actually does like invade Venezuela or start bombing it, I mean, it's like all of you are against immigration so hardcore. Like, where do you think all these immigrants are coming from? Yeah. Like, people don't want to leave their homes. Like, look at us. Look at our families. Yeah. They've all, like, left the Middle East for various reasons. You could probably have a thread for each reason that relates to some sort of horrific American-backed policy.
I forget who told me this, but it was this, like, aha moment that I was like, oh, my gosh, this makes so much sense. America destabilizes a country, creates a migrant crisis, gets labor that's pennies on the dollar, uses that labor and then deports and then
it's waves of this throughout American history, by the way.
And if the country has resources, even better. Like yoink.
No, that's another thing. We're gonna take those for free.
Yep.
So,
literally like a straw. Like,
actually.
Right. And we're from a country that is like that's exactly what happened in Lebanon, and so you're obviously Lebanese, you're very fiery, you can see it. We talked about this off camera, and it was like, okay, when did you start receiving backlash about the whole Syria thing? Like
so the Syria stuff, so like back in like the 2011 days.
Oh wow!
I was one of those people who was actually like, I think a lot of us were just very excited about like the whole Arabs.
Because there's a tension, like being Lebanese, there's always this underlying tension between Syrians and Lebanese.
100%. And some of that's a little racist from certain sectors, but others because Syria occupied Lebanon, and has done some not so nice things in Lebanon. And my family has been on the receiving end of that. But during 2011, I think like all of us were very excited about what's happening in the region. And Syria was a bit of a contradiction because like there was a lot of people protesting in Syria who are probably like us, like they just wanted some more like freedom and rights and like opening up to the world. But the Syria situation and I remember getting into arguments with people in my family in Lebanon because they'd be like, no, this is like really bad what's happening because they're all like Al Qaeda. And I'm like, that's not true. Like, this is a revolution. I was like one of those people.
And you were saying it like on.
And I think I said it probably publicly. Yeah. Like, this is like, there's like lots of really good, there's lots of really good people in the streets. And like Syria was really nuanced. Like, I also recognized that like it got militarized really fast. And obviously, Syria was a country run by people who, it
was like a dynasty. It was like
it's a dictatorship, a family dictatorship, but also they like carved a path independent of U.S. interests. They did things in their own interests, and sometimes that aligned with like anti-imperialist forces in the region, and sometimes it didn't. Like they did
so many actors. It's such a big country, right?
Yeah,
that borders so many other countries.
Exactly,
and
like
so many other players like Turkey and
absolutely.
Russia. So
absolutely, but also the U.S. got involved too in Syria by like funding and arming a collection of proxy groups, which included extremists that were tied to Al Qaeda or in some cases were Al Qaeda. And you had like
and ISIS too.
And ISIS. I mean, the reason that ISIS actually took over huge swaths of Iraq is because the U.S. was like helping foment destabilization, and they were taking territory in Syria.
Just like what's the guy that is currently the prime minister of occupied Palestine was funding Hamas to undermine Fatah. It's again, it's the same playbook over and over.
100%. And also, like the U.S. embarked on this, like the U.S. and the Gulf states also after 2006, after Hezbollah gave Israel a bloody nose and kicked them out of Lebanon again. Hezbollah was so popular like across sects. And there's actually a Seymour Hersh article about this. I want to say it's in the New Yorker. I think it's called The Redirection. And it's an article from 2007, but it's about how the U.S. and the Saudis, it was Dick Cheney and the Saudi intelligence chief, embarked on this plan to foment anti-Shia sentiment across the region to make people hate Hezbollah and Iran because they played a really big role in pushing back against the Israelis. Exactly. And it was also, and Syria is a massive country. Like, you knock out Syria and you put it in the pro-American camp, and the region is just... There's like, it all falls apart. Any resistance falls apart. Right. By the year 2016, Hillary Clinton was running for president. And she said that when she came into, when she won, and one of her first things she was going to do in office was institute a no-fly zone in Syria. And until then, I hadn't really said too much about Syria. This is when I started to get nervous because I also have family in Syria. I think most Lebanese people probably have family in Syria. I mean,
I was in Lebanon in 2006, and it was like this like opposite upside down where we had to escape to Damascus
to escape the Israeli bombs.
And then a few years later it's the opposite. The Syrians are coming to Lebanon to escape.
I mean, it was all one. I mean, come on.
At the end of the day, these borders are all French and British strong.
Exactly. Until Sykes-Picot like carved it up like a pizza.
Exactly.
Anyway.
There was my dad used to take a train from my dad's dad used to take a train from like Beirut to Haifa.
100%. Beirut, Haifa, and then Halab, whatever. Like
that's why the other off-camera conversation. Like, I'm from Shibah, right? So like that border didn't exist in my like in my grandfather's.
No, someone came in, some white person came and drew it.
100%.
So like we were between Palestine and Lebanon, we were people were going to a market in Palestine and going back to Lebanon.
And that's how it is. That's how it should be.
So I have family in Syria, and I from a minority background, and they were surrounded by these people that Hillary Clinton wanted to protect with a no-fly zone. That was really scary to me. That was really scary for them. And so I felt compelled to start saying things publicly against American intervention in Syria. And I was still very nuanced about it, by the way. I was still like, yes, this is a dictatorship. Yes, they do horrible things. Like,
but people heard it as pro-Assad.
Yeah. Oh. Until this day, I could be talking about healthcare in the U.S. and there'll still be comments like, she's an Assadist. Like, you can't get away from it.
This Assad.
I'm an Assad. You know what? Guilty. I am an Assad. We're all three. We're all Assad. Who here, if you're not an Assadist, you're not my friend. Because
every single time I'll go on X and it'll be like, get Assad out of it. I'm like, come on, what did I do to you guys? But I have to tell people, that they actually changed their name too, by the way.
Who?
This is a fact.
The Assads?
The Hafiz al-Assad and their family changed it from al-Wahash
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
why?
They were Wahash
Monsters?
beasts. Like
الوحش.
they wanted to sound regal. I swear to God, this is a real thing. They actually changed their name.
That's so funny.
So
Also,
I wanna know.
I mean, that's like, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that's what people say at the gym.
yeah, you're
You're
a beat. You're a beat.
a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah.
also the other thing.
So
too,
they
like,
ruined it. Yeah.
But when I started speaking out on Syria, like, look, I was telling you off camera before, like, I got my sort of journalistic start at the Electronic Intifada. Shout out to Ali Abunima.
Shout out Ali.
Ali Abaname. Like, I gotta say it the right way. Who's like one of the most amazing people, taught me a lot of what I know. But I've been a journalist covering Palestine and the movement in the U.S. I've been attacked by Zionists my entire career. And they're vicious, and I'm used to that. There was nothing worse than being attacked by my own community
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Syria. And it got really, and it was really upsetting. It got really sectarian, too.
Like, this is almost like the mission of this podcast. It's like, how do we have conversations in the community without being divisive? How do we hold people accountable and be constructive without alienating people or like canceling
each other,
Yeah,
without attacking each other? And this is look, I know Syria
Yeah.
is tough because there are some people who are threatened by this faction. There are some people who are threatened by this faction, and everybody feels victimized, and that's fair. Like, that's fair.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, come on, you guys. Like, let's have a conversation. Let's like we don't have to assume the worst of each other on this. And also, like, it's like, I mean, don't do the Zionist job for them.
100%.
You know?
100%.
But I still stand by everything that I said. I have a really long, lengthy body of work on Syria, and I'm proud of all the reporting I did on that. And people can go back and look at it, and I think it's been validated and stood the test of time. And
I'll be you can name maybe 10 leaders, they hate them, and then some people, like, it's like Castro, Saddam, Gaddafi, Khomeini, the Shah, like, before that. But the funny thing is, they actually all kind of say the same thing about Palestine.
mm-hmm.
They're all kind of like pro.
I mean, that's the reason they've been taken out.
Yeah, exactly. It was crazy to me. Even Hugo Chavez, before Maduro, like they're trying to basically do what they did to him, to Maduro. But again, he's literally saying the same thing about being very, like, anti-imperialism.
Because these are leaders who say what you want. We can have nuance on this, although I don't want to put Hugo Chavez in the same category as Hafiz al-Assad or Bashar. But it's like
I'm just saying this is the same story over and over, right?
Well,
what we've been learning, what we've been taught is crumbling.
But also, like, when it comes to the Middle East, like, are we really going to sit here and pretend like Jordan's better than Syria was? Like, it's like, these are all police. You're going to sit here and make some democratic argument. I'd love to see democracy in the region. You know why it will never happen, including in Jordan and Saudi Arabia and Palestine? If it were to happen, the Americans wouldn't get to just take the oil.
Sure.
If it were to happen, Israel would not exist as an ethno-supremacist state.
Yeah.
That is committing genocide.
Yeah.
If it were to happen, like, we would have control over our own resources. We wouldn't have these disgusting police states across the region.
Right.
Like, it always gets me, people who are going to be like, we have to take out, the dictator of Syria, but we love Saudi Arabia and we love the Emirates and we love Jordan and we love Egypt.
Yes.
Like, give me a break, you guys. It's so transparent what you're doing.
Have some kind of continuity.
Yeah.
We don't even have democracy here.
No.
I think that's the joke of life.
Right.
That is the joke of life. Like, you're going around going to Iraq. We're here to spread democracy. Mission accomplished. Just like, we don't even have democracy here. It's all run by
you want to take over Syria and Iraq, and you want to take over Venezuela on the back of an American tank?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's democracy for you? Give me a break.
Yeah.
Where in the world has America given anyone democracy?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
All it does when it takes out these states, and that was also the thing about Syria, you could base it off of Iraq, base it off of Libya. These are operations to collapse a state.
Yep.
And destabilize a country.
Yep.
And in all these cases, the number of people who were killed, we don't even know how many people lost their lives because of these endless wars.
It's in the just Iraq and Afghanistan is in the
millions.
Just add up in Afghanistan.
Libya, slavery was brought back to Libya after NATO liberated it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and every single time it's the same script. And anybody who stands against these attempts to use the U.S. to force a change in government is referred to as a Saddamist or an Assadist or, I don't know, Gaddafiist, whatever they called people with Libya.
Yeah.
And now with Venezuela. Like, it's like you don't have to go back that far in history to see why this is a problem. And now with Syria, like, there's this guy in charge, who has a rough past, as Donald Trump says, dabbled in some ISIS, dabbled in some Al-Qaeda, never apologized for any of that. Hasn't been elected. I don't know where the democracy is. No one's elected him.
Stupid. I joined ISIS.
Who among us? Who among us hasn't done that before?
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard not to. You're growing up.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a cool new group.
Yeah.
But no, the guy sent car bombs into Lebanon, into Iraq, and committed horrors in Syria, and now we're all just supposed to sit here and pretend like.
Biggest indicator, it's crazy because we know all that about him, right? His past and whatever. I think the biggest the problem is how the U.S. is meddling, and the fact that the U.S. has had a $10 million reward on his head that they then
This is what I said.
They then removed. For what? It's ridiculous.
Did they officially remove it, or is it still there?
So this is what I say: you either get killed by the CIA, or live long enough to work with them.
Oh, that's great. That's just a bumper sticker.
Yeah, yeah. So
live with them and then get work with them and then get.
Seeing the wanted poster, and then the same guy in the suit in the White House, shaking,
and then the same guy getting hanged on TV.
Yeah.
That's the cycle. That's the cycle.
So it's pretty crazy to watch. Yeah,
impressive. But also, I just want to say, I would love nothing more than to see a democratic Syria. Because if you actually gave if Syria had a real democracy, they would not be trying to normalize with Israel.
Again, he's saying that even today I saw a clip of he's like, no, you can't do this, Israel can't do this, whatever. And then what's the actual?
And he's meeting Israelis in Paris, and he's secretly, not even secretly, he's actually pretty openly.
Just see how they write about him in Israeli media. That's how you know how he should be seen. Yeah. I'm just saying, they're pretty happy about him.
They liberated Syria, right? And then he came into power, and what did Israel do immediately? They just bombed all their military,
and he did nothing.
Yeah. So
I know his hands are tied. I'm not trying to. Again, all my love to all the people in Syria, and freedom and liberation is required. But I feel this is not freedom and liberation. I think this is U.S. enslavement.
We're seeing it from the outside.
I really do think
it's submission, like a lot of the rest of the region, which is why the U.S. is take off the sanctions, baby. We're happy now. Yeah. And then also exactly what I was concerned about before, if these people took over, is what's happening where my family is from in Syria. There's been massacres in the south, there's been massacres on the coast, and everyone's meh. Yeah. And it's just kind of so that's the attitude now, is shrugging the shoulders. Yeah. Okay. It's just really sad.
Yes.
And also it's in Lebanon, people are scared of what's happening in Syria, and it's just, and now at the end of the day, with this new government in Syria, I'm not saying the last one was so pro-Palestine, but they were sort of in that axis, and now this government absolutely is not.
Yeah.
And that's a huge blow to resistance in the Levant.
Yeah. I think they're just, literally cutting the heads off anyone who dare stand up and be you know what? No, I don't want this in my country. It's anyone. Yeah. And like you said, they could be dictators, which we hate. We hate what, a lot of what the Iranian government is doing to fellow filmmakers of mine. But we can have that discussion. I'm not saying they're amazing and they're angels, but we do have to realize why the U.S. is doing things. Totally. And the fact that, do you want to be under U.S. enslavement, or do you want to take your liberation in your own hands? That's really what it's about. Yeah, to be honest.
100%.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad this is a good segue. You're both kind of in the entertainment filmmaking business in your own right. I kind of wanted to, talk about that and the basically the role of women in liberation movements, and especially in media. So from the Lebanese perspective too, in the Palestine, I just this is a great dynamic. You're making movies, and you're boots on the ground. Pretty much with the crosshairs on you, basically. So, not to be too figurative.
Shout out to people who are targeting
Yeah.
Shut
Yeah.
Assad.
You're paying her bills. Yeah.
I am not in the Epstein files.
That's what someone in the Epstein files would say. Yeah. No, but
That would be a huge shocker, wouldn't it? It's like Rania Khalek.
yeah.
I'm
At least the serious stuff would go away.
yeah.
When you're
That would, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, so I just like how do you feel about your role in the liberation movement and
Ooh, my role. I mean, first of all, it's such an honor to get to be sitting with this queen over here. Because I am so like I'm always just so I love the women from my community, and we don't always get to be in the center of things.
Right.
And it's hard. It's hard as a woman in general in these spaces because it's everything's so male dominated. Men just have like the natural confidence that they're like raised to have. Whereas I feel like as a woman, especially in journalism, I can't speak from, the industry you're in, you can speak more to that. And I'm sure it's something similar, but in journalism, it's very male dominated, especially on camera. And then even in the independent media world, like there are women, but thinking about independent media, and this is not to say I'm so special. It's just, I think I might be the only Arab woman who's like hosting my own program. If you don't like include Al Jazeera, I guess there's a lot of Arab women there. That's not independent media. Yeah. So, and I didn't really realize what that meant until the last couple of years, like especially as I become a bit more recognized. It's amazing how many people watch Piers Morgan. It's kind of sad actually, but I'm glad people have found me there. And because a lot of people from our community have found me there, I hear from women a lot. Like, it's so nice to have somebody representing like my voice. Yeah. Like a woman saying these things. Like, I wish I could be saying these things like, hey, but I can't because I work for this or that, company or in this industry. And it's just so amazing to have you being the one like who really like what you say I agree with.
Because your company is
Breakthrough News. Everybody go check out Breakthrough News. Yeah. And it's an outlet I feel very privileged to get to work at and have a platform at with people I've been friends with for a very long time who are like my political comrades.
BT Newsroom.
It's at BT Newsroom on Instagram. Definitely follow us on YouTube, Breakthrough News. That's where I host my show Dispatches.
And you also you hosted the ArabCon live stream.
Yeah, we live stream a lot of protests. We live stream events like ArabCon. So we were the official live streamer of ArabCon. You can go look at our archive for all of those amazing panels.
Or Sharia law in Dearborn.
Or Sharia.
She was live streaming the takeover of Sharia law.
It was very exciting. At the time, when it was actually crazy. When we were at ArabCon, there was these like right-wing members of Congress who were like, Dearbornistan.
Oh my
God. Dearborn has fallen.
Dearborn has fallen. And they were like going after the mayor.
I want a Dearborn has fallen shirt.
I love that. and now New York has fallen.
Dearborn has fallen as
well. One city at a time, next up could be LA, you guys.
But you know what? I just had. So are you still friends with Electronic Intifada?
Of course, yeah.
Globalize the Electronic Intifada. Yeah.
Oh, they would love that. And we are definitely on a Pandy watch list. Thank you very much. But no, it's journalism is a really cool space to be in. I actually don't have a degree in journalism.
I mean,
I have a degree.
University.
I have a degree in exercise physiology.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Used it somehow.
Yeah, I do. I mean, in my personal life, because I'm very passionate about fitness and nutrition and stuff. And like, I work out like a monster.
Because this is what this podcast is.
That's what this podcast is. Yeah, these are just side conversations.
In between sets, like,
for the science, the anti-science.
I'll be hitting bench and then
between sets, we're like,
what do you think about?
Shout out to my trainer in Lebanon, Yanni Kokozaki.
Okay.
Follow him on Instagram. No, he's amazing. But anyways, all that's to say, the reason I'm so passionate about independent media specifically is because I was politicized by it. Sure. I by accident stumbled upon Democracy Now! When during the Obama-McCain election. So I'm aging myself a bit, but and I was I literally thought to myself, I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be the president and his middle name is Hussein. Clearly he's not going to bomb Palestine. I actually thought that, or the Middle East at all, because he's basically one of us. And so I was desperately trying to find anything to validate that viewpoint. And I accidentally came across some interview between Amy Goodman and someone. And I was like, oh my God. And I went down a rabbit hole. I couldn't stop watching. And so independent media literally, I was I can't go back to what I was doing. I have to be a journalist now. And it changed the trajectory of my life. And so it's really cool I get to be in the position I'm in now, because I'm maybe someone will watch me and rabbit hole what I'm doing and learn about, all these people. and all these authors and leftists, and maybe they'll
Yeah.
like do something really cool
We need
instead
the-
of.
Right. The fitness to anti-fascist pipeline is something that we need to
Also,
propagate.
if media doesn't work out for me, I want to open a leftist gym and call it the Red Zone.
Okay.
Would you? I think it'd be
The Red Zone. You know what's funny? Somebody invited me to a group on Instagram that's called Swoletariat.
so.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
So-
I like that.
Shout out. I
We
guess.
could send them an ad. For
I
the
still
Red
don't know.
Zone.
I still like what it. I'll Google it myself. But like proletariat, is that more like
Yeah, that's like
a
Marxist
Marxist
terminology. Yeah, I mean, I also just like,
Yeah.
but it's like I feel like when it comes to, and I'm digressing a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's important. When it comes to the fitness industry, specifically in the U.S., it's so dominated by the right. Like I used to do
Yeah.
CrossFit.
Yeah, they'll literally put like a fascist worked out today. Did you?
Whoa.
Like that's your
That's
motivation.
what-
Yeah,
That's brilliant. That's brilliant because it's true. Like it's like
motivating. I
every
guess.
CrossFit. I used to drop into CrossFit
Yeah.
gyms whenever I was in the States.
Yeah,
And like not all of them, but a lot of them, like all the coaches would be these like really right wing military vets.
sure.
They'd have like the Blue Lives Matter stuff. And I'm just like, and like no, it's just there's a very right wing culture to it
Yeah.
that doesn't exist in other parts of the world. Because I've also been to like CrossFit gyms, and I don't do CrossFit anymore because it's just really hard on the joints. But all that's to
Yeah.
say, like I feel like as leftists, we need to also be fit.
Yeah.
And also I hope, just I like maybe this sounds a little silly, but even though I'm in journalism, I also like to put out like a fit leftist female aesthetic.
Sure.
Because I feel like it's important. It's
Right.
important. We can't let the right have like
Get the views any way you can.
right. Well, we can't let the right like dominate fitness. Like
Yeah.
this is really important.
100%.
That has
We
to.
can't
also
let
be...
RFK dominate fitness.
Oh my god.
He literally was at. Dude, I'll tell you that this. So I go to Gold's Venice, like literally right down the street, and when he was campaigning, there would be Secret Service in the entire gym. We like literally couldn't use a thing because they're like no, you can't. It's like plain clothes Secret Service will just like.
Please.
Is he?
in a-
Is he like? He's pretty fit, I guess. I saw him doing
mean,
pull-ups.
I
Although he
don't
gets
know.
brain worms because
No, he's literally he goes to the gym in jeans and boots and like a
it's
button
not
up.
comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing, man? Anyway,
That's
so it
crazy.
was just such a weird experience having that around.
We also we have to outlive RFK and we have to outlive Zionism.
Man, inshallah.
Yeah.
And so that requires being in shape.
Right.
I love
Right,
that.
yeah.
I actually love that.
Got to
point of
outlive
view.
the entity.
Yeah.
I love that.
Outlive the occupation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then how about how you feel about your role in the liberation movement?
First of all, the guy's name is Nathan Strauss.
Oh,
Yeah.
So where's
the co-owner of
Where's
Macy's?
Nathan? Is
Oh, so
Nathan?
boycott.
Nathan,
We gotta-
Netanya is Nathan in Hebrew.
Okay.
I didn't
And
know that.
so-
So we got to boycott. We got to boycott. Macy's.
Literally.
Nathan from Philly.
Netanya. I actually
Netanya.
cannot. Anyways.
Well, I'm sure he
I just-
looks as indigenous as he sounds to the region. Yeah.
Oh man. My role in liberation. I guess you're talking about from
Well,
a
like
female
for
point of
example,
view.
you have this, I guess, de facto series that you've done on
Which is amazing.
Yeah, where it's like getting crazy views. It's really resonating with people. I think I like did I condensed all the titles for you. Like,
yeah, you did. And I said reached out.
yeah.
He's like, hey, do you have a list of all that? I'm like,
No.
I don't. He literally compiled them for me.
Yeah.
He's
So
like,
nice of
here it is for the people.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
just sort of to know what you've already done because there's so many things you could.
Because I didn't plan it. That's the key. I didn't plan it. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
That's
I
what I'm
just
saying. It happened like you just have all
Yeah.
this kind of information in your head, and now you're organizing it for and solidifying it and in a way that's like digestible for the masses, and obviously it's working. So, do you see like is that something that you want to keep doing?
You know what's interesting? I'm a filmmaker,
Yeah.
so it's that's what I'd rather do is make films.
Okay.
But it takes a while and it takes a lot of money. And since I got dropped by CAA famously,
Yeah.
it's been harder. But so I am working on a film right now. Alhamdulillah, it's the first Palestinian horror film, so I'm excited.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called The Visitor. So inshallah we'll be shooting it next year. We'll see. But I'd rather be doing that. But I find that anything that I can do to reach like audiences directly where they're at is important. So I will do anything I can. And I think like a lot of us, like we feel so guilty because, you know, we're in the diaspora and we're not in it And so I feel like anything I can do, like to use my storytelling or whatever it is. I edit myself. I do the music myself. I do everything myself. So
in this room.
in this room, actually, yes.
You were kind enough to let us.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, ahla sahla. I wish you were here all the time. Yeah, no. So
to hearing you say that, like one thing that I really love, I feel like after October 7th, and like the genocide started, all of us without collaborating or talking, everyone just did what they could from where they were. Like everybody just went to almost like knew, like you need to go do whatever you can to raise hell about this.
100%.
And yeah, it's kind of beautiful.
I love that you say that because I feel that too. It's almost like we all went to whatever strengths, we took everything that we did before, right? Whether we were trained in this or knew that or whatever, and we just doubled down and be like, we're gonna, right? And it's so interesting because I remember someone a while back, right when the genocide started, like, oh, like you should all like, get together and like organize and decide what you're going to say, when, how you're going to say it. I said, that's the beauty.
We
didn't.
We didn't even do that.
That's the beauty. And that's why it's reaching people because it's real. It's authentic. It's not scripted. It's not, I'm going to say this and on these like signal channels and you say that and it's not. That's how people know it's real. That's how people know it's the truth because it's not manufactured.
No, it's so authentic. It's so authentic. And there's something really beautiful about that. And like you mentioned, diaspora and sort of guilt that you have because it's like we're the lucky ones, right? And on top of that, like you see all of the loss and it's like, we just can't let that be in vain. And that actually gives me like fuel and hope. Like I thrive off of the hate as well. Like there's a lot of hate in my heart, right? But also I think all of us do this out of love, right? Like more than hate. Is like we love our people and like there's, what's happened in Gaza is so horrific and it's still happening. And it's happening in Lebanon, it's happening in Syria. But I don't think it will have been in vain in the sense that like we're participating in this, but there's like a broader movement doing all of this that is changing the world, literally. Like Gaza has changed the world. Yes. And yeah, I feel like it's so important that, whether it was people in front of the camera or even people behind, like there's people who make a lot of money. And for the first time, we're like, you know what? I'm going to start supporting media. I'm going to start supporting politicians who are anti-Zionist. I'm going to start, supporting the activist groups. Like I'm going to start putting my money where I can at least because I'm a very successful person and I care about this. Yeah. So like everybody in whatever capacity they can, I feel like has been doing a lot. Yes. And we have to keep doing it. Yeah. But I just love that. It like actually kind of gives me chills.
We're literally, that's the thing is I think, I guess I'm going to like, this is me with like my raw feelings about being displaced is that like when the colonizer does that, they don't realize that they let us like thrive outside and we're coming back.
Yes.
So we're succeeding like they'll only lose if we stay divided and we don't use our privilege. So I hope that we can like that we have a responsibility for the people that can escape.
Yes,
exactly.
As I said back in 2006, like we had the U.S. passport. That allowed us to just like leave, but we were leaving behind family that couldn't. So I have an immense pressure on myself, for better or for worse, to make it and do something with it.
Yeah,
and I hope a lot more people do it. And the thing is, I even moved to LA, and I didn't realize how the Middle Eastern Arab population here until October of 2023 when everyone kind of came out of the woodwork. I didn't know, like I was shocked. I don't know. It was
no, so like something I love that so much. There's Arabs I knew before, but like the amount of people I've gotten to know post October 2023, but also like one thing that I specifically made a point to do because I mean, I think it's great, like all the pro-Palestine voices that you'll hear in different spaces, but I really wanted to center Arab ones. Because oftentimes it's like somehow, people have more weight to their opinions because they're white or because they're Jewish. And that's fine. Like, I get it. There's definitely a utility when somebody's like an anti-Zionist Jew who's saying what they're saying.
Actually, in our top 5 videos on YouTube, 2 of them are anti-Zionist Jewish people.
Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
like the top one is an just seeing that it's like kafir, like white person or white passing person with a kufiyya on the thumbnail that says like anti-Zionist, people just want to
Yeah,
click that.
there's like an internal, and even our own
Yeah.
community does that. There's an internalized sort of like mentality about whose voices have more weight.
Sure.
And also, you know, when it's like a Jewish person saying it, there's a level of like protection people feel to it, because I mean, we all grew up, like I grew up here in the U.S. and you know, you're almost made to feel like automatically anti-Semitic for being Arab. It's like a weird thing that you have to deal with that you don't understand as a child. So like it's like hearing Jews talk about Palestine and be anti-Zionist was also very important for me to consume.
Cathartic for sure.
Yeah, it is 100%. But like at the same time, like our people are really smart and they've done a lot of really good scholarship. And so I get to interview people like Ghada Karmi, who is like a Nakba survivor, and you know has a lot to say and has done so much work throughout her long life. And I like get to interview people like Joseph Massad, who works at Columbia University, who is like, you know, Bari Weiss as a student tried to get fired back in the early 2000s. Wow. She's been on that her whole life. Wow. And I want to platform these voices that these people should be viral, and they do go viral sometimes, but I don't think they go viral the way they should. You know what I mean?
Crazy. My sister, she sent me a picture of a seminar, and it was Ghassan Abu Sitta, the surgeon from
Great guy.
Gaza. So that was just incredible. Like just the connection of everything is amazing. And even my sister being impacted, and I was like, go talk to him. Like you have to, because you know my dad's a surgeon. I've been around medicine my whole life, and that was the path before. I was like, before, you know, I thought I wanted to do that. It was the Arab propaganda to. You got to be a doctor,
or a lawyer,
or engineer,
or engineer,
or failure, and basically, and then I was like, no, but I'm going to be using my power in this way, basically. So, in a male-dominated field, right?
In a but no, but also,
my privilege.
But also to be also to be an Arab, like to be an Arab from the Levant, like to be speaking. I think it's really important for us to have representation. Yeah. Like our voices are strong and they matter, and our opinions matter, and the work we've done matters just as much as a white person. Yeah. And if anything, like our experiences, you know, we have experiences that they don't, and that should be given weight.
Well, they're telling the story for us, right?
Yeah.
Now we're doing it for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're benefiting from it. They've been profiting on our stories for decades.
And I'm not trying to take away from the fact that I think a lot of people are really good-hearted and want to help, and I love that. But I also think at the end of the day, like, we have to be the ones leading the narrative.
Yeah. I mean, getting set, like, imagine a white person centering themselves and sidelining the person that they're, like, the person that is from the place that they're talking about.
That happens a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So
no need to imagine.
Yeah. I'm saying, like,
I have a lot of experiences throughout history.
Actually, somebody tweeted that. It's like, yo, like, bro, pass me the mic.
But the one thing I will say about speaking about like filmmaking and like you know, male dominated versus female dominated, the one thing I will say is, even though in the filmmaking industry as a whole, obviously extremely male dominated when you talk about directors, you know, even writers, but when it comes to filmmakers coming from our region, I think the most recently successful and the most exciting have been the women.
Yeah.
So if you look at, like, you know, obviously Nadine Lebeki, you know, Lebanese has been doing like her thing. Like I love her. And then you have Shireen Daabis, and then you have Anne-Marie Jasser, and then you have Kauthar, the Tunisian with Farah Nabulsi. And 3 of those films are like shortlisted at the Oscars.
It's
like,
amazing.
So I'm just saying, like, they're all women. And I mean, unfortunately, I think there might be I know sometimes in our culture, it's like, oh, when you go into the arts, you know, that might be seen, you know, for men as like, oh, that's too effeminate or something like that. Maybe. I don't know if that's still the case. I have no idea. But all this to say that women have like really, really been doing some amazing things, and they are my heroes.
I had the privilege of meeting Anne-Marie Jasser, and she's a force.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I watched her film, and I was like, how? Yeah. Like, excuse my French, how the fuck did they film?
Yeah.
I'm literally watching. They built the tank. Like, everything that they showed was built by them. Yeah. It took 2 years. They stopped filming 4 times because of rockets flying.
Exactly.
So, like, it was just a force of sheer will and passion. And I was like, this is incredible.
So if you were to ask me, hey, what you know, name 3 directors like from the region, they're all women. Like, you just off like the top.
4,
you know what I mean? Of course, there's many others, but I'm saying off the top, those are the ones who are really making waves, and I'm so proud. So.
Well, inshallah, you'll join the ranks.
Yeah. Inshallah, ya Rabbi.
We need the Palestine. I've been hearing about this Palestine horror for
I'm so excited about this.
We need it. And,
The Visitor.
yeah, The Visitor.
Well, I just want to plug my outlet.
Okay, let's do it.
That's why I'm like a walking, talking advertisement for Breakthrough News.
One more-
Breakthrough News at BT Newsroom on all social media platforms.
Yeah.
Follow us everywhere. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, where you know there's waves of up and downs with numbers,
Yeah.
because YouTube loves us so much.
I mean, what's next for you?
For me,
Yeah, in general.
at Breakthrough, we've got lots of it. We've actually have lots of exciting things happening this year that I'm very, very happy about. We're going to be delving more into like written content, which I'm super excited about. I actually used to write before I did video. So I also want to go back to that a little bit. I'll still keep doing video. But I do come out of like investigative reporting, Ali Abunimo style. But yeah, just, I mean, if you want to support independent media, Breakthrough News, I think, is one of the top ones. I'm very proud to work there. So
As you should be.
yeah.
Are there, like, do you co-sign any of the other, like, I feel like I follow a lot of the other independent media, but I don't know which ones are vetted or not.
Oh,
Like,
you want me to tell you which ones
like,
suck?
not that I want to water down.
Unfollow and block.
Like what? Like there's like Gray Zone, Drop Site.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's the drop site. There's a lot of new ones that have cropped up in the last couple of years, which is great.
And you're all, I hope that
the more the
kind of,
better. I think it's great.
colleagues in that.
Yeah. I think I'd like to think so.
Zateo.
I know a lot of people there. Like, I really, it's I'm happy to see so many outlets like coming up, and also like having the right politics, which is really important, especially on Palestine. Like, I think that that's pushed a lot of people to like kind of go start their own media outlets, which I think is fantastic. So yeah, follow all the independents. I think it's really important. Support them all if you've got money. And by money, I mean like if you have $5 a month, like go. It's like buying a cup of coffee
instead of paying for that one channel.
Yeah, because
for
Breakthrough
News,
100%. Because at the same time, like, if we want to beat like CBS and New York Times and CNN, like, they have massive amounts of resources behind them, and all these like corporations and Larry Ellison and God knows who else. So unfortunately, like these days, you got to support the media you like. That's the way it works.
Yes.
So yeah, support independent media.
Yeah, and progressive because of Palestine.
Progressive because of Palestine. Yes, I love that. I love that. It really is a gateway, by the way. Like, I ask so many people on the left,
just a litmus test.
What radicalized you? And they won't be Arab, they will be Palestinian, but oftentimes it's Palestine.
Yes.
It's like Gaza 2014.
Yes.
Or like the Second Intifada, or Gaza 2021, or Gaza now. Like,
yes.
One of the iterations of mowing the lawn. It's a radicalizing issue, because it's like everything happening in Palestine, it's like a culmination of every injustice you can think of.
Yes.
Like imperialism, settler colonialism,
capitalism,
racism,
military industrial complex,
all of it is like, you can learn. It all comes together
100
in Palestine. So everybody, especially people
the Epstein class, like everything
goes back to Palestine. It's like, in a way, it's kind of like almost every person from an oppressed community can see a reflection of their history in Palestine's results.
Yes.
So,
do you think we got canceled because of this episode, or what?
I don't know. We'll see.
Why?
No,
Bring on the cancellation. Watch there be like a campaign.
This is
dude.
We're good, right?
You're gonna be like, what did we say?
A GoFundMe against us. All right, cool. Well, Rania Khalek, right?
Yes.
What I do want to ask, what is the craziest way somebody said your name?
Well, my actual name.
Oh. Your government name?
No, my
Wahesh?
My actual last name. Well, now I have Wahesh in the gym. My actual last name is Wahesh. I'm related to God.
Yeah.
Actually, now I have to tell this. So my full name is Rania Abdul Khalek. So my last name is Abdul Khalek. And it still is. But I'm kind of ashamed of this. But after 9/11,
you got rid of it.
I wasn't. Well, everybody in my family did, because like you guys, I would go to. I had a friend, I went to her house, and her parents were either like doctors or lawyers, professionals. And they looked me in the eye. And I'm like 15 years old. And they're like, "Are you related to Osama bin Laden?"
Oh my God, please.
And I was like, he was Saudi. I'm Lebanese. No. And it's like, because people would hear Abdul, like, and it's the word that God, the racism after 9/11 was so bad. So a lot of people in my family just started going by Khalek, including me. And now it's too late to turn back, because that's how everyone knows me. Yeah. So a lot of times, because Lebanon's so small, people can figure out who you are and where you're from very quickly. Really? And they're always like confused by me, because they're like, "Where's their Khaleks? Like, that's not a name here." But Abdul Khalek is a last name. It's a big family. So the craziest way someone's ever said my name is Rania Khalek.
Khalek.
Khalek, because it's KH. Khalek. That sounds like you're gonna Khalek.
I do love that name, Abdel Khalek. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful name.
So shout out to the clan.
Yeah.
A quick topic: are the holidays canceled again this year?
If we're not canceled, the holidays aren't canceled. I think that
what does that mean? Holidays canceled? What?
Are we celebrating?
Yeah, I'm
celebrating what?
That's what I'm saying. Like
we should be together.
Yeah.
We should love each other, and I mean, and we shouldn't like. I honest to God, like I think a lot of people are hurting out there. I don't know. I feel like showing extravagance of any kind, whether holidays or not, I think is canceled.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Let's not show extravagance. You know what I mean? But let's show.
It's like extra.
But let's not let them take away our joy.
That's
anything they want, we do the opposite.
Yeah. Have your weddings, enjoy the births of your children, enjoy your friends and family. Like, I think we're allowed to do that. Like, it's like that whole, I know it's a little corny, the whole existence is resistance, but there's a truth to that. Gotta keep existing and enjoying your life.
Yes.
Can't let them win.
So enjoy the community, but don't post your
don't shop
food
at
spread, I guess.
I wouldn't.
Don't shop at Macy's.
Macy's. Nathan Strauss.
Yeah.
I gotta do the German accent.
Nathan.
His indigenous homeland of Germany.
Ancestral.
In his ancestral homeland. I support the right of return.
Yeah, exactly.
I do support all across the board. I support.
There you go.
Hot dogs promised him 3,000 years ago. Nathan's. Did we get that? Anyway, on that note.
Now we're really gonna get canceled. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Something.
I think it was the.
Yeah. Well, Rania, thank you so much for joining us. This was a blast. So, this was fun.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was explosive. Some might say.
All right, we gotta
it's time to go. That was fun.